What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
I played some more of that little the Despot game. I think is what it's called. Something on Game Pass now that's an auto battler. It's interesting. I've never played one of them before.
There was a big crave there for a while, right? It was like an auto chess battler that was going around and around and around, and then the minute I jumped on, I think it died off. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go play something else. But
you have that effect on games, do you?
Sometimes. Dude, when you buy another game, I'm waiting for something to come to Game Pass.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to get into Hood Outlaws.
Oh, that one hurts. I don't even want to talk about that. But what I want to talk about today, where people can join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern, usually over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, it is up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today's show, more leaks are spreading as it appears. Rockstar's next GTA game has leaked the map size. And, well, it appears to be rather massive. And that is only the beginning. Stadia closes, but Google still wants you to buy a Chrome gaming laptop now instead, a Chromebook. Very kind of weird, man. It's just they're changing strategies because they can't really see what sticks, I think. Dude, they tossed, you know what they did is they took a big old bowl of spaghetti and they threw it at the wall and a bunch of stuff just fell over. And that, I think, was like the last thing left. And it was tagged on it, says Chromebook because Stadia died. That's the end of that one. And as well, we got some news on the Meta Quest Pro. That comes at a hefty price, Scott. That one's expensive, dude.
Yeah, we may have already been priced out of the metaverse, but we'll get to that.
All right, let's get into it. It is GTA 6 map leak points to a truly massive open world. This comes from Catherine Lewis over at Gaming Bible. Oh boy, GTA 6, despite us still not actually having a trailer for the next game from the Grand Theft Auto series, it's safe to say that we know significantly more about it than Rockstar intended us to. That's for sure. Thanks to the colossal leaks that surfaced online last month. The leak seemingly confirmed both the protagonists for the game as well as the location being, Scott, we're back. It's Vice City.
Yeah, now that was known beforehand, though. This was a confirmation.
Yeah, dude, it's just more leaks. That's all it really turns out to be.
Yeah, leak on top of a leak. We had discovered the dual protagonists from leaks prior to that.
Yes, that is correct. But on top of that, as if we weren't given enough information from last week's leaks themselves, well, Reported by Games Radar, one Reddit user has taken things a stage further. Really? Who says that? Things a stage further. Interesting. In an attempt to figure out just how big the game is going to be, using coordinates discovered in the leak alongside those of GTA 5's Los Santos, Church of GTA has mapped out what could, dude, gamer tags, I tell you, man, like could be the scale of GTA 6's map, and it's enormous. Earlier this year, and completely separated from the confirmed leak, an insider claimed that there are plans to add even more cities to GTA 6 post-launch. It's not currently known if that is true, and if it is, whether those cities were already accounted for in the leaked map coordinates. But if not, the game could even be bigger, which is pretty wild to think of, Scott. Dude, this could be absolutely massive. How big is too big?
I'm confused by Ubisoft could probably tell you that answer. I'm wondering what they're doing with the original Vice City. Are they stretching it by the corners, blowing it up to make it much larger and accommodating that way? Or are they just going to flush out more of the surrounding area and include a lot more space? But Vice City was that 3 islands.
Vice, man, it's been so long since I've been in Vice City.
It's the one with the golf course between 2 of the main islands.
Yeah, dude, it was
making me think that they must have added a shore on the outside or something. If it is based on the Vice City that we know, so it could be an entirely different map.
Well, yeah, granted. Man, I just can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 at this point, right? If we take a look at Grand Theft Auto 5's map and you compare that to where people are predicting this to be, I think we're 3 to 4 times the size of GTA 5, which is massive.
I've got a PlayStation 4 next door. Sorry.
it's humming away.
Dude, now, I almost bought the GTA trilogy for everybody on Game Pass the other day, but I missed the sale and I didn't do it. So unfortunately, we don't have that Vice City to explore in the meantime.
You could have been in there checking it out, dude. I'm really curious how big that map was back in the day, because it was like PS3 days for me back in the day when that came around, right? PS3, PS2.
I believe that was PS2. Yeah,
PS2. Man, we're going back even further.
Even San Andreas was on PS2, so that would put it quite a bit behind.
That's funny.
So 2004 or something like that.
Then that, you got to think, is a huge leap forward now, moving into where we are currently with generations of PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S, to get into that next version of what Vice City is going to be. That's pretty exciting.
The amount of pixels total in Vice City the first time around is probably what fits in a vehicle now.
Oh yeah, well, right, absolutely. But how big does too big become? Because when you talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example, dude, that game just never seems to end right now, and it's so big, and it just keeps going. Keeps going.
I sound like I'm complaining saying that's too big, but what it is it's accommodating for years and years of content. They've set it up right in that formula. And I think GTA will have to, factor some of that in too. They know they're going to sell a lot. They know they can flush out the game with DLC or updates. So it'll be really interesting to see how the map evolves over time.
Well, are they going to take that Fortnite approach, you think, and just keep changing the map, or are they just going to keep adding to the map? And all of a sudden now, more like the Sea of Thieves area kind of thing, right? If you take a look at their map, they started here, and then all of a sudden they've gone over this way, and then they've gone over to that side of things. So there are other opportunities where they can expand, but how they go about expanding really kind of has my interest. And dude, this is just going to be, how long? Let's look at it this way, Scott. How much longer do you think GTA 6 is going to be around versus GTA 5?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they want to follow up a whole decade-long project, another one, but with the speed of technology moving forward, and I'm not sure that it would benefit them to do another whole decade.
I don't know. We'll see, because the last decade seemed to be pretty profitable for them. But
that's true.
Speaking of moving on, Scott, so is Google. This is unfortunate. Introducing the world's first laptop built for cloud gaming. This comes from John, the vice president of Chrome OS product engineering and UX. This comes from the Google blog. Chromebooks have always been known for being fast, secure, and easy to use devices. Since their launch more than a decade ago, we've improved their capabilities and expanded the variety of devices for people to choose. Today, we're taking that effort a step further by introducing the world's first laptops built for cloud gaming, along with our partners at Acer, Asus, and Lenovo. These new Chromebooks bring together gaming hardware features, access the latest games with cutting-edge graphics through the cloud, and software designed to make these games fast and easy. Scott, I feel like we've heard this before.
Yeah, this just kind of seems just like the latest year's update on Chromebooks. Now, I've only had experience with one Chromebook, but it was about 10 years old, and I feel like it was about 40 years old. It was kind of a step backwards.
Well, all cloud gaming Chromebooks have been independently tested and verified by a leading game performance measurements platform, GameBench, to consistently deliver a smooth, responsive gaming experience with 120 frames per second and console class input latency of under 85 milliseconds. Dude, that's pretty quick. I'm down for that. But we've teamed up with NVIDIA to bring support for GeForce Now's highest performance RTX 3080 tier to cloud gaming Chromebooks, so you can stream titles like Fortnite, Cyberpunk, and all the like, Scott. And then to take it even one step further, we've also partnered with Microsoft to bring cloud gaming to the platform as well for Chromebook through their Xbox cloud gaming platform, where games you can get like Forza Horizon 5, Grounded, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and all that stuff. Scott, does this interest you at all? And how do you feel about them just closing Stadia off and now launching a gaming laptop instead?
Yeah, it's kind of like a proof of their own concept, but not with their own technology.
Weird, man.
It's a puzzling situation there. But is that an admission of defeat? Perhaps we'll shut down Stadia, but in exchange, we'll kind of find our place amongst the other streaming services.
Yeah,
I'm curious because it all really comes down to internet. As much as you can future-proof a laptop and make it graphically capable of running whatever, adding a huge amount of RAM to it, these are all useful things. Yeah. But when it comes to gaming on the cloud, I'm not certain any of that's necessary.
No, a lot of confusion as to what's going on with Stadia, or sorry, Google, because I keep going back to Stadia.
Well, the funny thing about Stadia was that you could use a Windows 98 laptop or not laptop, rather. There were none then, but you could use that, and no matter what it was, it would use Stadia to deliver it quickly. That was the beautiful part of the technology.
So now they just want to sell you a new Chromebook, which is capable of gaming, but you can really do that anywhere. But they want you to be able to use this one and tie in with these other platforms. Oh, they're also bringing in Amazon Luna over as well. Just a side note on that one. So that's a little
GeForce Now as well. Yeah, so
right.
Full suite of. It does make sense if you're going to get one laptop, and why not Chromebook? If you're a gamer, that's going to come up.
Yeah, exactly. But here, so you're gonna pay for service for Xbox Cloud, right? For Xbox Game Pass. Then you're gonna tie in the Luna. And then you're gonna tie in Nvidia. Some of these you're gonna have free aspects, but a lot of them are gonna have tied subscription models as well. Yeah. How many subscriptions do you get for gaming, Scott? I already have a lot for Xbox. I got a lot going on for PlayStation right now. Do I really need another one? I had Stadia Pro at one point.
I'm limited down to one now. I found a card that came with my Switch, so I have two memberships. That is all. I can't handle anymore. I'll do if I get a PlayStation. You know, I'm gonna have one the next day. It'll be connected as well.
Absolutely. Does the new Chromebook even interest you at all?
Not particularly, but that's just my own preference. I don't like laptops in general.
Which is fair, right? We do have gaming PCs here. We typically edit off of them and then game whatever we need to. But at the end of the day, I'm more of a console gamer. So the laptop to me is appealing because then I can go on the go and I can sit on my couch and also work. Like there's opportunities to kind of do both, right?
I think the console for me is the comfort device, whereas the computer is something I like. I like to build this. I built this thing a couple of years ago, and I'm still proud of it.
Well, Scott, who's proud next? Well, is Meta. The MetaQuest Pro could be the newest, best VR headset. But
I certainly hope so.
I hope so for $1,500, man. This thing is not cheap at all. That's an expense. A big expense, and comes at a hefty price for a lot of people. I'm thinking HTC Vive is in that realm as well when it comes down to the grand scheme of things.
There was one we talked about, it must have been a year ago now, but it was a higher end. I can't recall the company now.
So I'm looking at right now. I'm going to, here we go. HTC Vive Pro 2. Ready? $1,800. So yeah. So they're in the same realm here then, at the grand scheme of things, right? Because Pro is more tiered towards gaming, but yet work environment as well. So this is over at PC Gamer with Tyler. Let's get into his article. If you ignore the price, well, that's hard to do. And the just announced MetaQuest Pro might be the new best VR headset. It's the long teased high-end version of the MetaQuest 2 aimed at professionals. Meta is promoting it with visions of headset wearing creatives meeting in VR or standing in unfurnished office buildings pointing at mixed reality schematics. Personally, I just play games on the thing. The only problem is that it's $1,500. That's not too expensive compared to Microsoft's HoloLens, which, dude, I remember last night.
What happened to that thing?
I was heading there next. Yeah, which is also aimed at business and starts at $3,500. But it's a lot more expensive than most VR gaming headsets. The $999 Valve Index is already pricey. The Quest Pro sure looks sleek, though. It uses what Meta calls patented pancake lens technology. That's an interesting terminology right there. I love the straightforward name, which the company
sounds like they have me naming things over at that company.
But apparently it's 40% thinner in the optical stack compared to the Quest 2. So that's cool. Dude, high-end specs. This thing is absolutely a powerhouse. You can check out his full article over there at PC Gamer. There's a lot to unpack, a lot to uncover, but at the end of the day, if you're looking to do some gaming, Scott, $1,500 just a little too much.
Oh, well, this has made me think. I've actually thought about this quite a bit in the last little while. What is the price tag for me? What is the barrier of entry? For myself, I think it was around, I want to say 800 or 900, but that was because it included the PC card that I'm plugging into. It had to be a certain value. So I include that with the price of the VR because you're not running it off your cell phone. But
no.
1,500 is a little high for myself. I don't think I could do that one. It is pushing technology forward, though, so you have to kind of rectify that. It is a leading edge piece of tech. That's why it has the 40% markup over whatever it is. It is a lot.
No, absolutely.
It reminds me of Kingsman, though. The idea of a bunch of people in a boardroom wearing VR headsets. Do you remember Kingsman, that movie? They all sit, they all put their sunglasses on so they can see each other in the room.
I saw a lot of tweets coming out yesterday going, who's this for? Right? I think that in the grand scheme of things is the other question too. Is it really for the gaming audience or is it more for the business side of things? Because they're looking to incorporate both here, but really heavily geared towards the business aspect, the business suite of it all, where you can go in. But again, after they post that, somebody I've followed and known, used to work at Ubisoft, now has gone to another company, EA, posted, I don't know anybody who actually does this. So do you meet in boardrooms in VR? Dude, I don't know anybody personally who does that. We're all on webcams or doing whatever we got to do. So to actually meet somebody in a virtual space to then uncover and to kind of go over schematics, and it has its advantages, but I don't know anybody who actually does this way.
Yeah, when it comes to uses, is this going to be a negotiation kind of thing? Because now I can sit and kind of interact with you in a more organic space. That's where my charisma comes through, is if I could be in the room with you. So maybe this is beneficial to me.
Well, I think it has its benefits too, because if you're working on a schematic and if you're working on one side of it, I can go, well, no, what about maybe we tried this over here? And then you go, no, well, what if you do this instead? So we have the ability then to manipulate whatever we're kind of talking about in real time and kind of somewhat see a representation of what we're dealing with. And that helps, I think, can kind of broaden the horizon for a lot of people. But at the same time, dude, for $1,500, I don't know how many people are jumping into this thing to do this.
Well, for $1,500, there's how many of us crew members? I think we could change up the meeting formula a little bit.
We're all in VR now. Scott, one exciting thing that came out of yesterday's Meta Connect was Iron Man VR is finally coming to the Oculus. They put Oculus Quest, Meta Quest 2, which is cool because, man, you gotta play this game. That's awesome.
I'll always refer to Max as Max, perhaps Max Milk.
Yeah, absolutely. This is from Nicholas over at Android Central. Iron Man VR follows Tony Stark's adventure facing off against Ghost, a hacker with a drone army and a mysterious connection to Stark's past, as the developer puts it. If you're a Marvel fan or have just wanted to see what it would be like to be behind the mask of the famous robotic suit, Iron Man VR for Quest 2 will likely impress you. I will tell you right now, I played it on PlayStation VR, and dude, it was incredible. Like, this is an experience that if you have the Quest, this is probably the better way to play it now at this point, because PlayStation VR is just that old in technology.
I have a strange memory from the 360 era of playing some Iron Man game, but it was not in VR, of course. But I'm thinking if that game was in VR, it would be exciting. All I remember is ripping around a desert and shooting tanks from above.
Really? It's cool.
Perhaps it was a demo, though.
It was one of the unique experiences I found really fit the Move controllers well.
Oh yeah,
because it is one of those. Yeah, actually, it really did, because it had triggers here, and then it had, well, obviously kind of like the thing, but dude, you pointed down.
It's hard to point your palms at the floor, though.
Well, yeah, it is, but dude, like, everything really worked when you think of the motions of Iron Man, and you do the thing, like you just did those motions, and that's how, man, the fly was cool. Like, it was just, yeah, you have to try this.
You are a bit of our in-office test subject here when it comes to motion through VR. So if you can put your seal of approval on that version, at least, that gives me a lot of hope for this one.
Well, now it's going to be iterated and at a better graphical fidelity and everything moving forward into the MetaQuest 2 versus, PSVR, which I often refer to as like 720 versus 1080. Like, now we're even going one step further, right? So to play that in Quest 2 is going to be a great experience. Dude, there's so many. It's got a cool story, a cool cast, everything works really well, and you actually get to fly around as Iron Man. Like, it is wicked.
Now, is it Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man? Does he voice it at all? Does it even come up?
No, but it is close. Like, they did a good job. Camouflage was a very good developer to tackle this, and it's nice to see them over there. And from what I understand yesterday too, if I caught it correctly, they bought Camouflage to make more VR games. So there is that side of it as well. I wonder what's coming next out of Camouflage. We're gonna get Iron Man 2. They did announce Behemoth yesterday, but that was like
the Hulk.
Not the
Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
Dude, that game was so good.
Yes. There's some games I like bothering you with because they're gone, and there's other ones we have fond memories of.
I played that one for so many hours, leaping around, crushing things. It was so much fun. Scott, one interesting thing yesterday as well, Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to MetaQuest. I don't know, dude. Like, do you see? I didn't see this one coming. It's because Kenneth over at IGN, Meta and Microsoft announced during the 2022 Meta Connect conference that MetaQuest 2 is getting Xbox Cloud Gaming integration in the future, allowing users to stream Xbox games to the headset. According to the post on the Oculus blog, players will be able to stream hundreds of games to MetaQuest Store compatible devices, including the MetaQuest 2. Dude, I'm really interested to try this. This will work for games that aren't inherently VR compatible, as the setup will let you play these games on a 2D screen the company describes as, like, quote, having a private movie theater available at all times, end quote. I don't know if this is gonna work, man.
This is the most metaverse thing I've ever heard of. That meeting up in a movie theater to play the game, and that's really cool to me.
I've done that. That is a blast. As of the as of the writing, there's no hard release date on the Xbox Cloud Gaming. Will be available in the MetaQuest Store. However, Oculus blog post says both companies will be announcing further details as soon as possible. Xbox Cloud streaming is already available on Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. Blah blah blah. We already know all that stuff, Scott. That's just the usual. But for me, man, weird. Like, it
is strange.
Well, so we see PlayStation really gearing up and moving into VR, right? We're about to get next year the PlayStation VR 2, but Microsoft has really stayed out of that scene for VR.
Yeah,
said that it's not really for us. But yet now we see them teaming up with Meta, and maybe this could be their step in the door. Maybe we get something from the coalition in VR that's on Meta. Like, is that? We can have crossover opportunities now here too.
Yeah, maybe we use the Meta as kind of the viaduct to get through. and put things on Xbox. Xbox put things on VR. I mean, and that would be an interesting way to do it. I'm trying to think of what would you play in VR, Xbox side? Halos, of course. Gears of War, blown up, giant size. Sounds great to me, but it might make you sick.
It's just, so if you played VR, especially if you played PlayStation VR, you can get into the main screen, but then it's there and you're looking around. Dude, it's really weird and uncomfortable. So I want to see how well this works with this integration, and if it's really worth anybody's time, and we'll see how it goes. But I don't really know, man. Future will tell, Scott. But we do have a game out today. What do we have, man?
We have one solitary game today, and that is Lego Brick Tales. That's on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, Switch, and PC. I believe you spent some time with that.
Yes, Corey and I were in there. Dude, it's not there today. Oh, I'll have to get that in there somehow. It's Corey and I reviewed that game. Definitely check it out over on InsideTheGame.ca. You'll be able to find that over there. And we had a good time. They had a new building mechanic, which we thought was an interesting twist compared to past games from the Legos, because normally what you do is you just hold the button down and just build it for you. Now you actually have to go in and maneuver each little brick around and stuff like that. It was cool, but it had
you haven't played with Legos
issues
in quite some time, I imagine.
Actually, I played with Legos yesterday because my 1-year-old. So there is that.
Hey, there we go. Good.
Everybody, that's going to wrap up today's show. Thank you for hanging out with us. Always, you can catch us over on Twitch. You can catch us on YouTube. And of course, TV networks around the globe. But if you can't catch us live, hit us up InsideTheGame.ca. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.